Adam Friedman, Rivals.com, here with one of the very best athletes in the country in two sports, football and track. We got Rivals 100 athlete Nyckoles Harbor out of Archbishop Carroll High School in Washington, D.C. Nick, we got to start with these incredible track times, 20.79 in the indoor 200. Really fast for anybody who doesn't actually follow track. Tell me about your two modes here, your football mode and your track mode. What gets you, what helps you in that transition there?
Basically what helps me in that transition is the different sports, the different environments that you got to go through. Football, the gridiron, it's a team sport. You're going to war with 10 other people on offense or defense. For me, since I'm I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
Basically, I play both sides of the ball. So, you got 10 other people that you're working with, and y'all just going to war with 11 other people. So I mean, you gotta be smarter. You gotta think about your team. You can't just be selfish and stuff. But in track's a whole different story. It's you versus 5, 6, 7, 8 other people. So I mean, unless you're going on against a relay, so it's every man for themselves. And, this for that. I gotta be hard. Stay hard, and just really just think in my mind that this is me, and I gotta go against everybody else, and I can't have no letdowns, no let ups. I just gotta go for it and just go get the win.
Sure. Well, tell me about the reaction that you received after posting that incredible time. I mean, it kind of blew up on social media there, and I'm sure that some of those guys with the blue check marks, some guys you look up to, were reaching out to you after that time.
Yeah, definitely. Since I posted that video, life's kind of changed. I became a little celebrity star, just a tiny bit. But I don't think people really never seen somebody my size, run that fast besides Boat. And that's where I get a lot of my comparisons from. And then for me to be that highly ranked in football, and this highly ranked in track, it's really never really seen or happened before. Besides, and probably I'm trying to think of somebody.
Anthony Schwartz was pretty highly
There we go,
rated.
Anthony Sports.
Yeah.
And then he's not the same size as me. He's a little smaller dude, and way bigger. So
Hey,
just
Grant
probably
Holloway was a Rivals 250 prospect also. He did okay.
yeah, Grant. But you see now he's a world record holder and stuff, and I believe I can do the same thing. But it's just just a size comparison, and a lot of people never seen somebody so large and size, run that fast.
Sure. Okay, well, let's talk about your decision that you're eventually going to have to make, the pro and track, college and football decision. How are you going to figure that out down the road?
The way I'm gonna figure that out is whatever I run. If I run, pretty fast, break 10 seconds, run close to 19 seconds, then we got a whole different outcome. I might think about going pro, but as of right now, even if I run that, I'm still going. I'm not gonna think about going pro. I'm gonna go to college. Go do the fun stuff before I have to think about the next step of life, because
Mhm.
I've always it's a real big honor to to go pro out of high school, or pro in high school, because you're a kid running against grown man.
Yeah, sure. Hey, we just saw Arrington Knighton do it.
Yeah,
It's not out of the question, right?
yeah. No, it's definitely not out of the question. But I think for me, I think I'm gonna really think about the college round more. And I mean, if I run them times and some real good offers on the table, then we'll definitely think about it.
Sounds good. Okay, well, let's switch over to the college football recruiting, and just really college recruiting, because track and football recruiting kind of go hand in hand a little bit. Which schools have done a good job, I guess, presenting to you, an attractive offer in terms of being able to do both sports?
Which schools? I would say Michigan, Penn State, USC, Maryland. Ooh, now Arkansas. Now you got me naming. Now you put me in a tough position, because it's a lot of good schools that
Mhm.
that have presented this great word and this great layout plan for me. And I'm not gonna remember all of them off the top of my head. But then you got the HBCUs like Tennessee State, Prairie View A&M, and then who else?
I'm
Ooh.
sure it's a big long list there.
Oh, it's a pretty long list.
Yeah.
And Georgia, uh, South Carolina, North Carolina. Ooh, you got me in a bad position.
I'm not gonna make you name all of them here. I do know that you took a couple of visits over the last, I guess it was 2-3 months.
Right.
Penn State was one, North Carolina was one, Maryland was one. Am I missing any of them there? Any recent visits?
Recent visits, nah. Besides the Oklahoma one was the
Oklahoma.
most recent I went on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Those schools, well, Oklahoma. Well, let's talk briefly about them. A whole new coaching staff over there. Does that kind of affect your outlook on the Sooners?
It did for a little bit, but my teammate, my old teammate Anton,
Hmm.
he told me that the culture was still the same. It got better, and that I can still consider them, and I'm taking his word on it because he's told me a lot, and then I've been with him for so many years that whatever he says, I gotta think about it because he's my big brother, so
Yeah.
whatever he says, I'm gonna take part, and I'm thinking about it. So yeah,
Anton, I know, took you under his wing early on when you were in your career, I guess, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Maryland, a hometown team, still impressing you, right?
yeah, definitely.
Okay. North Carolina, Penn State, those visits, any lasting impressions from those visits?
I love those two schools. Definitely Penn State. I love Penn State because the times that I went up there, I had great times, especially North Carolina too. Had great times when I went there.
Hmm.
South Carolina had great times. I think Michigan great times. Every school that I went to, I've had a really good time and really good bondage
Hmm.
with the coaching staff, and that's the best thing
Hmm.
because I have to get a great bond with the coaching staffs, my position coaches, and definitely players like I've made some great bonds with great players like Aiden Hutchinson, and people like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned Tennessee State and some HBCUs are turning their focus to you. You saw what Travis Hunter did. You saw what some of these other HBCU signees did this season, or this signing class rather. Does that make an impact on you? Is that something you're going to seriously consider?
Oh yeah, definitely. We see the movement happening. I've always thought about going to HBCU, before it started happening. So I mean, but I was just too young. I was in ninth grade, so I can't go nowhere.
Hmm.
Didn't get no looks until now. But I see what Travis did. It's really like pursued or shown HBCUs that you can go after top ranked athletes, and that you don't have to go against you don't have to be scared to go for us because we could always consider it. It's not that we're always going to the PWIs or something that
Hmm.
you bring up the right offer, the right table, and it's the best fit for us. Then we're going to go there. We're going to thrive because you've seen it happen and you're seeing it happen now. So I think that's going to be a really big move and a really big movement, for people of my color, and just that,
Yeah.
the HBCU.
Well, tons of great players have come out of HBCUs. It's been well documented there. When we're looking forward here over the next few months, what does your schedule look like? Are you going to be able to take some visits? Are you going to start narrowing down your list? Well, what's kind of the plan moving forward?
So the plans right now, March 5th, we might be looking to go to Alabama. So we might start off with that, and then we might go to Maryland. We're probably gonna go to Maryland in March. And we're gonna go to some schools in March, but with the track schedule, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go to Penn State in January, the last week of January. Well, it was one of them weeks. It
Hmm.
was like either the last week or the last 2 weeks. Couldn't go because had 3 meets back to back, 3 big meets back to back. One of me being Texas Tech. So anytime that I could really be free, we're always gonna look to go somewhere. To make sure that I'm getting out and see coaches and
Yeah.
make sure that I can start build a ball so that we can start narrowing down things.
Sure, sure. Well, you mentioned Maryland, you mentioned Alabama, Penn State, a couple other schools are probably going to get visits there. Any other ones that you want to name specifically that you're definitely going to be making a trip to during the month of March?
Um, as of right now, the only one that I could probably like guarantee that it's like a go, not yet, but like I say 80% is Alabama. That's the only school.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what? I mean, you can't say Alabama's Alabama, but what is the major attraction between you and the Crimson Tide?
Major attraction, just being on the phone with Nick Saban, for the first time, that's a dream for everybody. You get to be on the phone with him. Like that's the godfather of college football. So I mean, just to be on him, a great mind. Just had a great talk with him. And then, also, it's Alabama, like best you could say for the later decade, been the best team, in college football. So, they're always in contention for the national championship. They always got great players, great competition. And then, that's like, they're going to get you ready for the NFL. Everybody that's went there, has had a great career in the NFL, or, high draft pick, they're ready.
Yeah. And they've done a good job recruiting the DMV over the last decade or so, like you mentioned. In terms of their track program, how attractive is that program to you?
Track program with track, their track program is pretty good. I feel like I can make a great fit there. Just basically like any school with a good tracks program is going to be like the best, contention for me because, I want to do both in college. I'm doing both right now. So I want to do both in college. That's why I keep my speed, get my speed from. Track, track is like that sport, that I love. Like, I love it.
That's
Sometimes I love it more than football. I love football more than track. So, they're both equally good. So, I mean, and then like with the times that I've been running, just made my life worse with it. So, that's the best part about it. And yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. And so, are you going to narrow your list down at all before you end up making a decision? How is that process going to play out?
Yeah, we're gonna start narrowing down. So I only have probably like 2 schools that I'm like guaranteed that's in my top 10. That's probably three that's guaranteed in my top 10, and that's Michigan, Penn State, and Maryland.
Okay.
And every other school, is up in for contention, but them schools that I think I've solidified a great relationship with the coaching staff. Especially with Jim Harbaugh, him staying. That was a big reason why I kept Michigan up there.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they got a lot of coaches leaving, I feel like they're bringing in good new coaches. And yeah.
Okay. When are we going to see that top 10 list? When are you going to be ready to release that?
Ooh, man.
Is it weeks or months? What do you think?
Months. I'll probably give it a month or two.
Okay.
Probably more than 2 months away.
Okay. We got to get that track season over with before you figure that out.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on you. I mean, I'm sure we're going to see some more pretty incredible track times from you over the next 2 months, even before we see that top 10 list. So, but Nyck Harbor, I want to thank you for your time. Good luck there with the rest of track season, and have a great time this spring getting out on those college visits. We really appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.